Will you flip the chart?
All right, you're good to go.
Okay, well, thanks. This is Mike Gasevich, who's the 2021 Foundation President. I have Ed Daly with me, who's the President-elect, and will pick up the mantle as of this October. And then I've got Jen Hitchcock, who's part of our Publicity and Communication Committee, and Nancy Simonelli is our Executive Secretary. So I'm going to give you a sort of a short or quick overview of the Capital District Foundation. Next slide. So the ideals of our organization, as you can see, is the promotion of Kiwanis-sponsored service leadership programs through financial assistance and training. We have the expenditure of funds for care and treatment and rehab of individuals, support community works, betterment of lives for children, and the promotion and development of the welfare of the Kiwanis International through various outreach programs that are implemented and executed within the district. Next slide, please. So who are we? Well, the Capital Foundation, District Foundation, was organized in 1972. First president was a man by the name of George Bogeist, and that there are now 17 in the divisions in the district. All but one have representation. Right now, we're waiting to see about getting a representative from, I believe it's Division 17. Next slide. We're composed of a board of directors. We have a president who's recommended by the nominating committee and approved by the board. President-elect and vice president, the same as the president. Our executive secretary and our executive treasurer are appointed by the board, and we go out to look within the district individuals that would be interested in fulfilling the position, since the two are very demanding. We had David Laurie, who's the former governor, take over as treasurer, and our former president, Nancy Simonelli, who's been with the board for a while, picked up the mantle of secretary from Charlie Adams, who had held secretary for over 20 years. We have the governor, Dennis, and the governor-elect as part of the board, as well as representation from the 17 divisions. Next slide, please. The foundation officers are made up of the president, myself, Ed Daly, Bob Wright, who also is on the district board. Nancy Simonelli has two positions. She's the past president and she's executive secretary. And then our treasurer, David Lloyd. And then we have Dennis Baugh and Elena Gardner from the district. Next slide, please. We have six committees within the foundation. We have a bylaws and policy, finance, budget, fundraising, grants. One we started this year with the update of the policy, communication, publicity, and website, and nomination, which helps in regards to looking for new officers of the board. Excuse me. Next, please. We have 9 pediatric hospitals that, well, not 8 pediatric hospitals, and then this year we approved to have a 9th, which is the Children's Inn at the National Institute of Health in Bethesda. Each year we raise money to provide a $3,000 donation to each of these organizations. 50% of the donation comes from club, it's $3 per club member that the clubs give. And then we get additional contributions by clubs and individuals. The first gift back in 86 and 87 was $3,500 given to the Children's Hospital Medical Center in DC. Since then, and I got the figure from David Laurie, the foundation, through the benefits of the club members, fundraising, etc., has donated to the 8th and now 9th as of this year, $766,517.
Excuse me, Mike.
Yeah,
Hey, are we missing one of the hospitals up here? The Institute of Health is down at the bottom, but I only count 7 others. And I can't think of who we're missing.
huh. I may have accidentally cut one off when I was fixing my slides.
But we did fund them.
You're missing
Yeah.
CHKD in Norfolk.
Okay, thank you. That's it.
Whoa.
CHKD at Norfolk.
And that's Nancy and mine. Our division 12, 16, and 13 is the one we link to. Next, please. Are there any questions so far? Let me ask that. No? Crickets? Okay. We promote Kiwanis service leadership programs. The foundation subsidizes the Capital District Circle K budget. We provide annual scholarships to support the Key Club in Circle K, one of them being the Robert H. Turner Scholarship. And we provide financial support to youth outreach programs through clubs annually donate $100 to support non-sponsored SLE programs such as K-Kids, Builders Clubs, Key Clubs, as you can see on the chart. The Robert Turner is awarded annually, although we haven't done it in the past couple years, and we need to pick that back up. But it was funded to help support, I believe it was due to the Virginia Tech, what happened at Virginia Tech. And so we need to start picking that back up. Next slide, please. We do support communities through the clubs with what we call club grants. The grants are from $100 to $5,000. Priority is given to the club projects that support the children. We have 2 funding cycles right now, one in the fall that we have to have applications postmarked by September 15th, and then in the spring postmarked by the September 15th is considered in the November board.
Mike, are you there?
Hold on, I think I muted him by accident.
Uh-oh.
Mike, if you're there, try to unmute. Oh, he actually might be gone.
It looks like he's muted there.
Let me see if I can try to.
Well, okay, Mike, you jump in when you get back. Finishing up here, the funds are good for a year, but clubs have been able to extend the project longer than that when necessary. And it's very flexible. We're really interested in working with a club that's got a project that they are supporting as much as they are asking for our support. Next slide, please. The toy is our Teenager of the Year program. Currently, we recognize that with a contribution, an award, $2,500. And all the local clubs nominate to their divisions, and then the divisions nominate to the district. And the award is made each August at the annual Kiwanis Convention, this year down in Roanoke, we hope. Next slide, please. So we're supported by club gifts. You know, we ask for a suggested donation of $3 per member. To qualify as a distinguished club, it's $5 per member. And it can be made anytime during the Kiwanis year, October 1st to September 30th. And it is based on your membership, is what it is. Club checks are sent to our treasurer, David Lurie, our past president of the governor, rather, of the district over in Haymarket. Next slide, please. And we have other fundraisers. Everybody's aware of the Ducky Derby, and we do very well with that. We have a lot of prizes with it, and that's something everybody looks forward to. We had to do it online this year, but give Charles a lot of credit and the finance committee. They did a great job making it fun, even if we couldn't do it live. We have the Caring Corner, which we missed this year because we didn't have the annual conference. And we also have Kiwanis logos, such as shirts, the one that I have, and similar items which we sell, and they all contribute there. Next slide, please.
Mike said in the chat that someone muted his telephone.
Okay, is he back?
So I'm unmuted now.
Okay.
I'm not sure what happened. Thanks, Ed. I'll pick up with another part of our means by which to raise funds is through the member recognition honors. And you can see up there we have the life memberships, tablet of honor, excuse me, and Founders Society. And you can see that the life memberships are available to all members of the Kiwanis family. And usually the way we get those is when a club outgoing president, the club will usually put them in for a life membership. Of course, you know, you can be an individual or past officer or members. It's a one-time contribution, and as part of that life membership, you'll get a pin and a ribbon that says you are a life member. We have the Tablet of Honor, which is a $1,000 contribution. And you'll see there that the recipient will get a certificate and a plaque, very nice plaque. And then, of course, we got the Founders Society, which is an endowment to help the SLP programs, and 50% of the contribution is endowed, and the other 50% goes directly to our SLP clubs. So it's a means by which it helps us support our service leadership programs. Next slide, please. This year, we've implemented 2 additional member recognitions. It's sort of to try to fill the gap between the $150 and the $1,000. And the first one is what we call the Patron of Recognition. And again, this could be $300 contribution, and we see that the person that you want to recognize name is on it. And in this case, an example was Jamie Arca, who's been doing a phenomenal job as our foundation webmaster. Next slide, please. The other recognition is what's called the President's Circle, and it's a $500 contribution. And we decided we'd like to, for the individual making the contribution or club wanting to recognize somebody, we would give them a very nice clock with their name on it. And as you can see, I happen to be one of them because I decided I wanted to get a nice clock. And again, it's just a means by which we decided to fill the gap between the $150 and the $1,000 contributions. And we thought that might be a little more something that the clubs could look at if they wanted to recognize a member. So we've been talking about how we're spending money. So let's talk about the foundation budget. Next slide, please. Our 2021 budget you can see, consists of the following: our pediatric hospitals, scholarships, Teenager of the Year. We have a budget for the Circle K of $10,000. We have a budget for the year with club grants of $25,000, operating expenses of $89,000, and key litter $5,000, which comes up to $85,400. Next slide, please. Well, here's what we're looking at for income. When we talked previously about our fundraising, I'll skip the top line there. We've got we anticipate or hope, because Charles Marks has been doing a phenomenal job these past years with Dougie Derby. Even in the times of pandemic, he seems to still be hitting his number, and we're hoping to get about $11,000. We project with club members of $3 per member of getting approximately $10,000, and then through other sources of income, we get $5,400. Well, now I'll talk about the top line, the investment. We are deficit spending, not as much as what the government's doing, but we are deficit spending. We are tapping into our investments because we're just not able to bring in the funds to what the spending is. We can either cut back on grants, we could cut back on service leadership programs, we could do all sorts of cutting back, but that's not what the foundation was for. The foundation was to help. So we're cutting into our investments, and right now we've had some deep dive studies, and as long as the market's doing as well as it is, I think for the next year or two, we can continue to do deficit spending. But we are looking at trying to figure other ways of fundraising. And there are some suggestions that are being brought to the board. Next slide, please. How can you all help? Well, individual giving. Donate today, help a child in Capital District. Thousands of children have been positively impacted by the donations. And you got club giving. You know, every 1 October, we find out how many members are in the Capital District, and that gives us an idea as to what the club giving is going to be. We know the membership has been down, so that part goes down. But then we also, I can't remember if it was through KI or the district, where if clubs give $5 per member, then that's towards their being an honored club within the district. Next, please. We still have the stalwarts, the Caring Corner, which Bernice and Nancy have adjusted over the last couple years to be the silent auction baskets, and that has done real well. And the clubs providing the baskets has also been a means by which we can keep down our costs while at the same time be able to raise money. Shirts, which is the thing that I was asked to head up a couple of years ago by our former Governor Zimmerman. That's an up and down situation because the main way we get it is through the decon or the mid-year. We're trying to see if there's ways we can re-energize shirt sales, and that'll be that might take a little longer. We're looking at through websites. Our website, we're looking, Jamie is looking at possibly trying to take that on. But again, that's more down the road, and we just still haven't been able to get it to take off. And lastly is the Ducky Derby, which has been our mainstay. And you can see where the Ducky Derby tickets are sold, and all the proceeds go to the pediatric hospital serving in the district. So we have before the board that we're going to be discussing at this March 5th, I believe, at 4:30. The fundraising committee is going to provide some ideas of fundraising, and that's about the best I would like to say right now, simply because we haven't approved it yet, but we're trying to look at out-of-the-box thinking. So that will be coming down in the next couple of weeks, and we're hoping it'll be something such that it'll get the members to possibly participate in some of these fundraising efforts. Realize, and you can go back to your clubs, that anything that is contributed or donated to the foundation is tax deductible, as long with what the tax laws will allow. And so I'd like to go to the next slide. How can you find out about what's going on within the foundation? Since Nancy, I think it was Nancy, we have made a very conscientious, positive step of being more transparent. We're doing things within the foundation to become more transparent. We're having things implemented within the website for the district members, the district at large, to be able to see what goes on annually within the foundation. So the ways you can find out about it is there's minutes of the past meetings available on the website. The bylaws, policies, and procedures are there. We have recipients of life membership, recipients of Founder Society and Tablet of Honor, as well as recipients of the Patron Award. Next slide, please. Well, and if you want to know who your directors are, here's a list of the 16 directors, and we're working on 17. So if you're interested in wanting to get more information, you can get a hold of your director, your division director. Next slide, please. And these are the ways in which you can find out. Okay, you have our website right there, the Facebook, and I cut it short, but the last part should be Capital District Kiwanis Foundation, all one word. And we strongly request that you guys go to the Facebook and like, because that is one of our principal means by which we get the word out, or social media, what things are going on within the foundation. We're actively looking at ways to try to market the foundation, because we believe that's one of the problems that the foundation is having, is that not everybody within the district knows what the foundation is or what the foundation does. So here's part of our publicity campaign talking to you all tonight. Lastly, I would like to go to the last slide and say that the foundation with the district as well as with the clubs want to work hand in hand to positively impact our communities. We look at ways of trying to help the clubs, to support the clubs in the endeavors that they do. But if we don't get the applications, and again, you can see how to fill out an application on the website under grants and policies, we can't get the money out. I think right now, and if Nancy's on, we only have 4 grants applications for this period. If we only get 4, then we can only potentially hand out 4 grants. And the budget for the grants has grown steadily over the past 2 years. It was at 10,000, then it was jumped up to 20,000, and this year it's 25,000. So we're making every attempt to get back what we received. And that's the last of my slides. Are there any questions? Everybody can hear me, right? I'm showing that I'm not muted.
I
You're
actually-
good.
I have a question. So, you know, I know that you probably have some ideas on doing fundraising. If people had ideas on things that they wanted to do, could they send those in? Could they fill out a survey? What's the means of doing that?
You can send it. But what I would say, and Ed and Nancy chime in, you can send, first of all, you can send it to your division director. And if you could put that slide back up, Krista.
Mhm.
I should have, those are the people that you can, immediately send it to. The next person would be our secretary, which is Nancy Simonelli. And she can be reached through right there. But on the next slide down, think right,
Yeah, go to the next slide, right here.
right there.
Yep.
She can be reached at the Kiwanis Foundation at gmail.com. All right. And lastly, although I don't have mine up, but we'll put it in there. You can send it to Ed or I, because we're actively interested in what the district membership has for ideas. I mean, it basically comes down to, Krista, we don't know what we don't know. I've been brutally whipping my board members on coming up with ideas. But part of the problem that I say to the board members is we have to think outside of the box. We can't keep on asking the membership to donate. We've got to come up with ideas where the membership helps us to publicly get out there seeking funds beyond the membership, which means we need to come up with some inventive ideas outside the district membership. So if you have a club member, or if your club has some innovative ideas in regards to fundraising, by all means, send it to us. Like I said, your division director or division rep, if you want to call them, then you got Nancy's, the foundation email right there, the last line. Does that help? Oh, and let me also mention this one more thing. If a member, any district members is interested in wanting to help on one of the committees, by all means, there's nothing precludes a district member participating or volunteering in one of our committees, or even helping us when we have fundraising efforts going on at the decon or at mid-year.
Can always use more
Does
help.
that help?
Yes, thank you.
Any other questions?
Hey, Mike, this is Bill Hand. I don't have a question. I just want to thank the foundation that when I was a key leader chair for several years, and I came to the foundation and asked for money to help offset the cost for registration, you guys just jumped in with no questions. So I really appreciate that. And hopefully when this pandemic's over, we'll get back to having more key leaders here in the district. But I really appreciated what the foundation did without question.
Well, we're happy to oblige. Yep, as Ed said, we're happy to oblige. One of the things that we're looking at is how to do some expanding. But again, I have to, as Ed and Nancy were probably cringing a little, I have to temper with what I say because again, we're doing deficit spending. And for the next couple, we've been doing it for the past couple years. But we want to get out of that rut. We want to be able to bring in as much as we spend. And so that's why we're looking at trying to come up with different ideas of fundraising. But for right now, we're okay. But I will tell you, I've told the board we might have to do some, tightening of the belt, and I hate that. Ed and Nancy could attest to. I want to spend money. Maybe that's the reason why we got a deficit spending. But we can't keep doing it.
Is there any other way that we can promote just within our individual divisions some of the grants that you guys give out? Because it seems like there's a decent amount of money that you guys give out with the grants. Do you think that there's other means of communication, or do you need us to help in some other way?
Well, that's part of one of the things that we're looking at presently. We've got the website, we've got Facebook. I will tell you, as an example, that the Teenager of the Year came from my division, and so we had a Zoom meeting, and it only took us 8 months to when it was, was announced to when we finally got it to them. But one of the things I asked was that, an individual that was, somehow taking pictures, please get me the pictures, because we will put them in our Facebook. We'll put them on our website. Through Jen and Jamie, we have an excellent infant publicity and communications committee. And they're overwhelmed, and I'm looking at ways to try to help them. And I think at every district magazine that goes out quarterly, those two girls have some article or articles in the magazine of what's going on within the foundation. And what I would say to you, Krista, is when a club gets a grant, part of the responsibility back to the club is to let us know what goes on. And it'd be really nice if we could get pictures. I would tell you, last year, when the Williamsburg Club got their grants, I went over to the public library that they'd part of foundation money and other money they used to refit a library, and I took a slew of pictures, and I believe I gave those to Jamie, and they got in. We're looking for any which ways to publish what's going on within the foundation. We're looking at any which way we can get out to the clubs for more on the foundation. The briefing you saw. Go ahead.
This is Dennis. If I can jump in too, I think from the district level, we have tried to push the foundation to the clubs through Distinguished Club. As you mentioned, and Nancy's been very good, and Jamie and Jennifer both on publicizing the fact that, if a club raises the donation to $5 a member versus the $3, then that puts them in the running for Distinguished Clubs. So, and each lieutenant governor, I think, has done a very good job on trying to promote that as well. So that's another way we're promoting it and trying to help the foundation at the same time.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Yes. Has the foundation applied for grants from other foundations, such like the Bill Clinton Foundation or the Obama Foundation or places like that, Bill Gates, for, a few $1,000s to help out us?
No, but that's something we can explore. We've always.
Yeah, I would think that would be great, because if you're only asking for 5,000 or 10,000 from them, they might oblige.
True. I guess Nancy's taken some notes. That's something we can look into. what I would tell you, and you know, I'm thick-skinned, former Marine. The briefing you just saw is a compilation of two briefings, one that Jamie did and one that Nancy did. And any feedback on what you saw would be beneficial, because this is something that we're looking at being given to the 17 directors, so that they have this briefing in hand and with soft copy, so that when they visit a club, or if they can't, they can send it soft copy for the club to be able to use. And Jamie is looking, again, how proactive we're trying to be, and I've given Jamie and Jen free will, where Jamie's looking at that when this foundation briefing gets finished, there will be a voice overlay, so the division director doesn't even have to say anything. They just have to be there for when the briefing's given or the slideshow's given to the club. I would also tell you, we're looking at possibly doing a video. So we're open. You know, the sandbox, that we've taken the roof off of the sandbox. We're asking people that want to participate, come on in, help us with some ideas. And as you can tell with what I'm telling you, I'm spending money. But if we're going to make money, I got to spend money.
Hey, Mike,
Yeah.
to go back to the question about applying to other foundations, we kind of look at ourselves as a vehicle. We're trying to help local clubs with their projects, and we're a piece of their funding. We're not their whole package. And we do, when they apply to the grants committee, we encourage them to apply to other foundations to supplement or complement, however, the project that they're working on and our funding, because our funding for each project is limited. And I think we need to look at our funding as a partial piece, trying to promote these projects rather than do them all in its entirety.
The other thing I would tell you, and this was, of course, me just thinking, I'm not sure how well we would do going out to the Bill Gates or the Clinton or whatever foundations, because we're Kiwanis. You know, we're Kiwanis International.
Yeah,
So
but
I'm
you
not
know,
sure how. Go ahead.
Clinton was a former Key Club member.
Well, I didn't know
think
that.
you're right, that we could get funding for a project, but they're going to look kind of a little questionably if we're saying we would like to apply for your money so we can give it to others. And
I
we're
think
just
9
funding
pediatric
mechanism.
hospitals is a pretty good project.
Well, the hospitals, perhaps, yeah.
Well, the foundation,
Well, let's not think out of the box.
what I would tell you is the foundation, and Nancy might chime in, or maybe even Dennis, we were able to support getting a critical, I'll call it a critical care ambulance. We raised funds for a critical care ambulance that went to the Children's Hospital down here in Norfolk. I mean, it's just a matter of trying to figure out ways to get people to donate. And again, we need to go outside our Kiwanis membership. So I appreciate the comment you made, and we'll look into it. My feeling would be maybe we help try to go through one of those foundations, because it's a large project. You know, maybe it's like what the Williamsburg Club did, but you know, the club's not as big as Williamsburg, and we try to help a club raise $50,000. Because you also have Kiwanis International that supplies grants too. But I appreciate it, and we'll look into it. Other questions, comments? Well, I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you all.
Thank you.